I drove 30 miles to get this piece of equipment, and then I can't get it because you don't take this form of payment.
Can't be dedicated on one brand because you want to use what works for your company.
He goes outside, man, with a yardstick and checks the height of the grass.
Oh, God. And they don't understand the damage you're going to do to the lawn.
I was washing on my mowers. One guy goes, "What are you washing a lawnmower for?"
They're not in the field like experiencing all the issues that we have.
Yeah, like we are every day.
Every day,
and
you
I give
know.
them training.
Are you ready to kick back and get inspired? Grab your favorite drink, pop the top, and join the Side Hustle Squad with Mike Garvey and Larry Delasante. This podcast is the perfect resource for anyone who's already started their side hustle or is just considering taking the leap. With in-depth interviews featuring guests from the green industry and beyond, you'll gain valuable insights and learn what it takes to succeed in running a business while juggling a full-time career. From personal stories to practical tips, the Side Hustle Squad podcast has everything you need to turn your passion into a thriving business. Now, here's your Side Hustle Squad hosts, Mike Garvey and Larry Delasante.
We are live at the Side Hustle Squad podcast in Pod Row, featuring Mike Garvey, Larry Delasante, Perry with Yellow Dog Services, Ben, a.k.a. Perry Jr. from B&L Services, and your fifth co-host, Lamont Hairston from Hairston Property Management. How y'all doing today?
How you doing? You're a fifth co-host.
Get some money for that intro.
It's a team effort, bro.
Where's the applause?
No.
Not that one.
You're going to give them the
Not it.
Lamont.
Pat like my grandson. He's like,
Oh, we got an all-star panel here.
yes, sir.
How's everybody doing?
Good, man.
All
Doing
right.
good.
Good.
So let's go down the line, introduce yourselves, and then we'll take it from there. Starting with Lamont.
All right. Hey, y'all, I'm Lamont Hairston, Property Management from Storm, North Carolina. Been in the business probably 10 years, probably going on 10 years legally, 6. Legally. Everybody starts on, on the radar for like 2 years.
He's going to get a phone call tomorrow to be at his house.
Lamont's like still under the
Can I
radar.
have those 4 years of taxes, please?
Yeah, I hate my wife to get woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning with the FBI beating on the door. Like, I don't know what's going on. But, yeah, I do weekly lawn maintenance, getting ready to sliding into fertilization and weed control, make it become a full-time thing, hopefully within a year and a half.
Good.
Straight
Good.
fertilizing and weed control.
Big Ben.
Yeah, man. How are y'all doing?
Good.
I'm Ben Newman. I'm the owner of B&L Services. I'm located out of Killen, Alabama. We do a lot of mowing, higher-end residential, and we do a little bit of landscaping as well. Just mainly a lot on the mowing side, but we offer a lot of landscaping services as well. And been in the industry about 12 years now. Started when I was 16, so it's been a journey, and just proud to be here with you guys to see what kind of technologies advanced this year at the show, see what kind of equipment we can look at. So,
How many times have you been to Equip?
First year was in 2019, so this would be my, they canceled it in 20.
Or
so-
fifth?
Fifth?
Yep. Yes,
Same
sir.
for you, Lamont?
Fifth
Yeah.
time.
Well, I came in 18 for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And then familiar face?
What's going on? My name is Perry Phillips, Yellow Dog Lawn and Lighting, Nashville, Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
So been in business about 4 years. Do lawn care and lighting.
Awesome. And this is your fourth appearance now.
Yeah.
Back
Four.
to back.
Back to back. I'm just a little concerned about my man sitting over there in the suit.
That's apparently Dr. Frank,
Yes, that's
Paul Jameson's
Oh, that's the guy.
doctor.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was the guy from the FBI for Lamont.
For Lamont,
We love
shut him
Dr.
down.
Dr. Frank's a good one.
He's been over there for the. That's going to be a hell of an episode because he's been over there for a solid hour and a half.
Oh, trust me.
That's pretty
He's
good.
got a
Yeah,
lot of knowledge,
yeah.
man.
So,
It's pretty good stuff.
what do you got, Larry?
He's analyzing.
He's analyzing Andrew.
He's analyzing. Poor Andrew. We'll talk to him about it later.
Leave the brisket alone, Andrew.
Put down the you can't have brisket for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
What are you profiling?
No, it was
Yes,
from
you are.
Texas.
You're over there profiling.
He's styling and profiling.
I am profiling.
Yes, you are.
That's right. Hook 'em horns.
What would each of you say you're looking here? You know, every year has a different theme, right? Every year has a different something you're looking for. Something your business has changed from the last time you were here to now. What's everyone looking to get out of Equip this year, 2024?
I'm looking at, like I said, looking at fertilization. I know that if I finally got my sprayer this year, right on spreader sprayer, I'm psyched about that. So I'm still learning it and everything. So I want to see what other innovative things may have came out along with it. Any attachments, maybe I know some people said they've even had timers for adjustment timer or something like that. So I want to see if that's even a thing. And I just, talk to fertilizer manufacturers, stuff like that. I've got connections between, Site 1 and Central. So I want to just do overall talking to fertilization companies as far as products.
I saw that machine. That's a beautiful machine. How you like it? How's it saving you time in the field? Is it saving you time? Are you enjoying it?
Yes, because 3 years ago I done a half acre. I did it with a stand-on plugger, but I walked it. At the time I was 320 pounds. It took me 3 hours. And I could hardly move, man. I'm like, you know what? That ain't happening.
By the end of it, you were like 275.
Shredded.
Yeah.
Shredded.
I could hardly get up in my truck. I had to pull myself up in my truck, man. I was like, oh, my God.
So do you feel like now you could probably you could even grow your business a lot more? You could take on more accounts. You could do so much more because you're doing multiple things at the same time with that machine, I'm sure.
Yes.
Spraying, fertilizing.
Yes.
Probably saving more product, too, because you're just
more
doing a better
precise.
job, more
Right.
efficient,
Right.
So you're probably going to have better numbers. And do you see like now you could actually grow a lot better because you have such a better piece of equipment?
I believe so, yes. And I'm looking at, I told my wife that I talked to her about it, I'm looking into buying a Stinger aerator next year as well because I'm tired of having to go somewhere and then, I don't know about y'all, but in North Carolina, you got to start jockeying for aerators in June.
Right, to reserve it.
Yeah, to get a reserve. And so I was like, I went to go get one a couple years ago. And I got out there. They told me they took one form of payment. I get there, the guy said, "No, we don't." I said, "Well, your employee told me you did. I drove 30 miles to get this piece of equipment, and then I can't get it because you don't take this form of payment." I was like, "Oh no, we've never done that." I was like, he said, "I don't think of anybody else that takes payment that way." I said, "You got 4 competitors down the road who do it. I come to you because you was the first person to answer the phone." And I was like, "Don't worry about it." I went on back down the road. Guy said, "Oh yeah, man, we got like 6 of them." I was like,
Yeah.
I'll come back and see you then. But I'm just gonna buy one, man. A lot of people have a funk about buying a piece of equipment and keeping it for only using it once or twice a year. And I'm like, how many times do you take your RV out on the road? If you have one.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And the return on investment
It's way better.
is going to be incredible.
Yes.
And it's something that you have and it's ready for you.
Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And plus, I can also do if I have some warm season turf, I can do those in April and May. As far as the aerations,
right?
So, I have a few people in my area that have Bermuda, so they do aerations in April and May versus us doing cool season in September and October.
Awesome.
So,
Ben.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just seeing what the electrical part of tools and industry has brought. I know the last 2-3 years it's been a big thing. We'll kind of look to see how far some have came.
Yeah,
I know we're
with
not
the battery.
Yeah, the battery. I say electrical. I'm sorry.
No.
More battery-powered equipment. I know we've been seeing it the last few years kind of come on to the show, but I'm looking forward to seeing what progress has been made, for us to kind of see how far, even like with Crest and a few other companies, see how far they've came and innovated to this year. Because I've been watching some of Elon Musk's stuff, and that stuff's incredible. He's been achieving the last 2 or 3 months,
right.
and it's all in the service industry, which he may have a big effect on it later down the road, but we'll see how that goes. But mainly just seeing what new tools are available for all of us, new mowers, technologies, just mainly seeing the technology that's came on this year like I do every year, and it just seems like every year it just keeps advancing more and further and further. Mm-hmm. And mainly, go back to being efficient, being more efficient with my guys in the field every day, our routes, what equipment they love. I know everybody wants to ask their guys, what do y'all love to use? Whether it's string trimmer, blower, mower, what brand, and you can't be dedicated on one brand because you want to use what works for your company, your guys, what they feel most comfortable with, and getting out there and getting it every day, and, them working hard, everybody winning together. Mainly just seeing what kind of new equipment's out there and what we can see that'll make us more efficient in making money, maybe offering different services, either fertilization, which I'm not big on yet, but I'm looking into it. We do a lot of landscaping and mowing. It's landscaping, of course, it's a good profit margin with that, and tools we can use for landscaping. Me buying my subcompact TYM tractor this spring, using it all year long. You can do 2 or 3 jobs and pay for the machine if you know what you're doing. That's worth the money. A lot of people just get scared about buying big equipment like that, which is like a mini skid or something to make their job easier. And let me tell you, that tractor this year has been such a big gain for my company. Any piece of equipment you can ever just buy and just make that leap for, just buy it. It'll make wonders as far as being efficient, the time, and getting the job done, and going on down the road to the next home and getting a good install and making that money and making sure the customer's happy. I mean, that's the main thing. But the main thing is, at the end of the day, just seeing what innovation that all these companies that are here today have brought to us, that we can go out and buy their product, use it in the field, help us make more money, make the company grow, be more efficient, and just see what's out there, because these last few years I've just been mind blown by some of the stuff that all these companies that are set up here today that have just brought to us to see, whether it be the Cujo yard shoes or, a mini skid to fertilizing machine. It's just amazing. So many moving parts and engineering, everything, everybody, even with this podcast equipment, it's just amazing. How many brands, how many, great stuff that's available for us to just look into and dive into and see that can help us generate revenue, and help everybody grow and make a good living, and at the end of the day, it's all about being efficient, making good numbers, and making sure you have good quality equipment and good quality crew members, because that's what you want. When I try to dive more deeper into my guys, trying to find out what brand string trimmer. Like, we run Red Maxes, we run Echoes. Won't touch a steel. They hate steel. The dang thing won't crank.
Right.
About every stop you make. Mowers. With John Deere. They like John Deere. They like Ferris. We demo different brands every year you have to keep the ball moving. You can't just be settled on one thing. You have to really just pivot and see what works good for your company. And that's why I'm here today, to see what these brands have brought to the table, get out here in the demo area, drive it around, see what it feels like, go back home, talk it over with your crew, see what they love, buy it, try it out, That's mainly why I'm here today, just to see what new stuff every company has, so it'll make my company, more efficient and more comfortable with what we can offer to my customers back home.
Awesome.
So.
Perry.
Here to meet some vendors, say thank you, purchase some product, kind of see what we've got coming down the line in lighting, try to give some of the companies feedback of what I'm hearing in the field, of what some customers want, let them know the feedback I'm seeing, and to make sure that I'm delivering a superior product to them, and they're not going to stray from anybody. That when they say a lifetime, I want to make sure it's a lifetime warranty on this.
Yeah. Right.
And just basically saying thank you to a lot of people. There's a lot of businesses that have helped me grow.
Yeah.
And just trying to pay it forward.
Right.
Yep.
That thank you means a whole lot. There's the CRM that I use. I'm on a first name basis with them. I just want to go say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I know they always have coffee and donuts there, which I'm sure you'd fall right into with the donuts.
Why is that, Perry? Why?
He shows up.
You're stereotyping.
I do.
Yeah.
The ones that I show up, so then Perry I could tell him to go in.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Perry actually says something that really not a lot of people talk about, though. Like, when you come here, you're in front of like all these. You're not in front of vendors. You're in front of like the actual like company, like who makes the product.
Sometimes the CEOs.
Like they have, not that they have no clue, but they're engineers.
Yes.
They're not in the field using this stuff. Yes, they have like someone in the field at their shop, like, oh, this thing ran for 15 hours nonstop. It ran great, but they're not in the field like experiencing all the issues that we have.
Yeah, like we are every day.
Every day.
And I try to give them feedback every year.
And I was with
and some are better than others at taking it.
Yes.
And not like, I don't want to blow it up too much because I'm going to talk to them later, but I was talking to Cress yesterday. And I'm like, listen, I said, a good sales point for you is weed whackers can't run at full throttle. They can't. I mean, but you have to run them at full throttle. Otherwise, the piston and rings clog up. Like that's any two-stroke. Want to be run full blast nonstop. You bring this product in for a warranty. What do they say to you? Well, it's not under warranty because you weren't running at full throttle. That's why it's all clogged up. That's why your muffler's clogged. That's why everything's clogged. You don't need to run Crest or electric products at full throttle. Like you're not telling a customer that you have a 3-year warranty. You're going to be good.
Yeah.
The batteries, I believe, I don't want to misquote what Chris, I think it was 6 years on the battery.
Yeah.
Just here, give me a new battery, you're good.
Yeah.
So I feel like when you could bring something to them a lot of the times that you didn't even know that you had a value. Like, they don't realize the value that we could bring to them just from talking to them. Like you said, you want to go up and give them some stuff you saw in the field and stuff like that. Yeah. That's very important probably to these companies. If they listen, some of them don't even want to listen.
No,
it's
something as simple as a seat or I run all stand on mowers.
Okay.
Why? I feel safer on them. I like them. It's just personal preference.
Yeah.
Where my knees hit in the back, it's worn thin. And that doesn't matter of every brand. Well, there was one out there last year, and there was some guy standing there. He goes, "What do you think?" I was like, "The mower's great. This pad really sucks." And
they look at you like, what?
And he goes, "Okay." And he breaks out a little notebook, and he goes, "Well, what would you do?"
That's great.
And I said, "You ever heard of memory foam, like that purple mattress or something? I hear those are really good." I was like, "Why don't you put something there with some memory foam and beef it up to where our knees are?" And I was like, I don't need it up here. I need it where my knees are.
And then I feel like now you have to go back to that and see, like, what did they do anything about it? Did they pay attention to you? Because we're the people that they should really be paying attention to on what we see in the. I mean, listen, they can't do what everybody wants to do.
Right. No.
But even a small percentage of, well, he actually has a pretty good point. We should do that. Could change their whole company. Really. I mean, because most of us want kind of like the same stuff in the field. Like, we want more simple. This way, it's not so complicated to fix and stuff like that. Make it easy to get the parts and get the things and all that. So, man, that was great that you said that because I think that, a lot of people don't really come here to take anything out of that or give that feedback.
Yeah.
I've
been asked the same thing the last 2 years about a lot of different stuff, especially different CRM. Well, the CRM I use, I ain't going to name, but they've asked me, what would work better on the invoicing. I've given them my idea. Did they use it? Maybe. I don't know. But, whatever works, So they always want good feedback. Companies that are more loyal and just want to help people, they'll ask those questions, and that's the ones that I want to help out and, put my money towards, the ones that are loyal like that and care about.
That's who you want to use.
Yeah, that's right.
If you have a problem, they're not going to just shun you away.
That's right.
If you have a problem, they're going to try to take that problem and say, how do we make this problem not happen again?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what's important about it.
Yeah, it's like you said earlier about a trimmer blowing up, well, the dealer first thing want to know is what mix oil have you been running with it? Okay, well, Amsoil. I run Amsoil. That's what's been running good for my stuff, and it's got some good life out of some blowers and trimmers out of it, and it's full synthetic oil. But that'll be the first question they ask, and then they really can't be negative about it because it's been proven to be pretty good stuff, But that'll be the first question they ask, So
super regular.
Oh yeah, sure. Because they want to know why. Cracked a ring or why it blew up, well, we've been using it, so.
That's true. Speaking of oil, I have a motorcycle, and years ago, guys were telling me that guys were taking and putting car oil in motorcycles. And the dude told me, he said, listen, while your motorcycle's on the warranty, if you put a different oil in that comes from the manufacturer, they would literally drain your oil and test it at the dealership. Yep. If it's not their oil, I guess it got like a different blend. If it's not their oil, they will not warranty the motor. So the motor was a mess up.
That was actually Bobcat. So Bobcat, I don't believe it. I don't know if it's the lawnmower end of it, but like my Bobcat skid steer, they want, it says it right in the book, must use their oil, like for the warranty period, their oil, their antifreeze, which I mean kind of makes sense because then it helps you as the buyer and also protects them, even though it's more money. But it's kind of saying like, oh well, he used all my stuff and this still happened, you know, and there's no way out of it, you know. Like, so, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I put a new transmission in my truck this year, and they literally told me from the manufacturer I had to use their transmission fluid for the warranty period, which is like 4 years, and I'm for the first at least the first 2 years. So it's like $50 a gallon, dude. I had to buy 6 gallons.
I'm telling you,
because it takes 3 gallons to fill it. Then after about 1,500 miles, I'm gonna change it to then put a newer fresh in it. And I was like, you know, I could have went and got the transmission fluid at the auto parts store for like, you know, $25 a gallon. I was like, nah, I'm good.
That's what I always.
It's probably the same stuff though. It's just
but it had their name on it, so I agree. I have paperwork that I got it from them, so I'm just like, look,
protect yourself.
Oh yeah, got to.
A lot of guys think there's not a difference in the quality of oil, but it's not.
No,
it's worth the money. I promise you. From the downtime that you would spend fixing something, you'd rather just spend the money up front and put good oil in it and run with it. Because by the end of the day, if you don't, you'll be paying back, you know, that kind of money. You know, whether I'm serious, man. I've seen it with Amsoil. I've knock on wood. It's been a great product, but you know, it's proven itself to me. I think I got 2,500 hours out of a color engine on John Deere, and since I bought it 3 or 4 years ago, that's all I put in it, and that's a lot of hours, you know. And it's been good, but it's always worth the money to spend for a good product for sure, you know.
Yeah, for sure. What's been a challenge in 2024, and how would you guys take that challenge that you've had, and what's your plan of solving it in 2025?
Well, I've had a couple. One was dealing with clients trying to tell you how to cut their yard. I think I called you a couple weeks ago. I was telling you about that, and I was like, one guy tried to tell me how to cut his yard, and I told him, I said, sir, I can't cut your yard that low. I said, you have fescue, it's not Bermuda. I said, if I cut it, I kill it. And because we got this, not the hurricane, but we had a substantial amount of rain back in like early August.
Right.
I think it was August 8th. We had a tropical storm come through. Well, we got 7 inches that one day. In that one day we got 7 inches. Well, I waited 3 or 4 days before I cut everybody's yard to be on the safe side. Well, I went to go cut his yard, and I cut it. You know, I cut it at regular height. Actually, I cut it a 1/4 inch higher. Then I dropped it down. I said, listen, he texted me. He said, you think you can cut it lower next time? He goes outside, man, with a yardstick and checks the height of the grass. Oh, God. He told me he did. And I was like, listen, dude. I was like, sir, I'm
going to beat you with that yardstick.
I'm like, sir, I can't come in and just cut your grass at the knees like all at once. I said, it'll kill it. He said, well, my next door neighbor, I said, your next neighbor has Bermuda.
Different.
I said, you cut Bermuda at 2.5, 2 1/4. I said, you can't cut fescue like that. Not all at one time. I said, listen, the lowest I'm going to cut your yard will be 3 1/4. I said, I cut it this height next week. I drop it down the next week, and I get it back there. But it's going to take a couple weeks. So he said something about it again. So I shouldn't have did it. But next week I went over there, and I gave him what he wanted. And it looked like top of my head. I bought it. I mean, that's what you want?
You did it right.
Yeah, I did. So I don't want to hear you fussing. Yeah. But as far, that other than that, and then, of course, we had the drought where we went like 9 weeks without a drop of rain. I can't help the drought. But dealing with that, you know what I'm saying, like being better prepared for that, because I wasn't the one to experience drought conditions. I think y'all might have. I know middle of the country is Indiana, Illinois. I think they had drought conditions too. Just getting better prepared for drought conditions and, getting a better client base. Like I said, I'm focusing more towards fertilization weed control next year. So I'm really going to be pushing that a whole lot more versus getting mowing clients. And then, of course, I've told you about the health challenge I had. We know they're into this. So I've been able to do pretty good this year, man. But, other than that, so I kind of scaled back a little bit this year to try to help it heal. But, I'm working on getting that sorted out a little bit better. So, other than that, that's pretty much only a couple challenges I've had this year.
One thing I do, Lamont, like not to take it away from you, but it's funny because I have customers just like that. Mm-hmm. They think they know everything. And they don't understand the damage you're going to do to the lawn, especially if it's a drought. Yeah. So I'll make them send me a text message or email saying that's what they want. This way, if something happens to their property, which is gonna,
right?
I'm like, told you, we did it with fertilizer. A guy insisted that we never fertilize his backyard.
Mm-hmm.
I went back there, I found the fertilizer, and he goes, I want it refertilized. I said, no problem. Send me an email. This way when your lawn burns out, because I'm fertilizing it twice in one day.
And I can take that email.
I can take that email,
store it
and
in
you're
your
going
file.
to realize why your lawn's gone in the back, which it probably would have been because it was hot.
Yeah.
And he wanted it resprayed and refertilized. Nope, I'll do it every. You want to be happy? I got you.
Well, in that text message, he did tell me. He said, I want you to cut it lower.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I said, all right. I said, next week I will.
I got that.
And when I cut it, and so his yard has like a little dip. Well, when I crossed it, I scalped it. I was like, what you want me to do?
Yeah.
He never said anything to me about it, so I gave him what he wanted. It looked like crap, but I gave him what he wanted. Now, on the flip side of that, I'm thinking, I've heard talk for years and years, when customers are passing by, they don't know that agreement that you and the other customer have. They look like, man, this dude don't know what he's doing.
He sucks.
Yeah, and I'm not. So I had this one lady a couple years ago who wanted the same thing. I turned my truck around in the driveway so they couldn't see my stick on the back of my truck. Because there's like 10 trucks in my town with the same color. Like, they're not going to associate me with that, with my name on the back of my truck because that's what she wanted. Because the people passing by, they're like, God, man, he don't know what he's doing. But you're giving the customer what they want. So it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So
it's your name on it. At the end of the day, you want someone to drive by and say, wow, who is cutting that lawn? It is beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, that's
it's scalp.
Sometimes when we take over for the first app, we instead of putting our big 8.5 by 11 sign, like lawn sign, we'll take the one that, like,
little one.
the little one with the little sad flag, and put that one in there.
I'm sure if the houses are near each other, the neighbor's probably like, my lawn looks like crap. Anyone give me a sign,
They didn't give me the right sign. I'm not there yet. You got to earn that sign.
Maybe next year you'll be worthy.
That's right. Real talk.
That's right.
It's true though. I mean,
That's a great story, Lamont.
Yeah.
Well,
sometimes you can't always give them what they want, but you try to. I mean, you try to give them what they want.
Well, I told my wife the other day, I said, he's got one more time to say something. And I said, he's on a chopping block for next year. Because the gentleman that had it previous to me, the reason why he asked me to look at it and take over was because he had to go to the bank every time the guy got it cut. Dude had to run 2 miles down the road to the ATM machine. Every time he cut, I got to the ATM machine get him money. I said, well, I'll take card on file. Really? I said, yes, sir. He said, how'd I do that? I sent him the email to put his card on file. He said, I ain't got to work. I said, no. I said, we do card on file.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Snap.
So that's the reason why he wanted to go with me, was because I made it easier for him, for payment. And I said, I charge you every week. He was like, okay. So, and I told him, I said you get an email with a receipt every time you pay. I mean,
that's great.
I'm trying to make it easy for him.
That's like when we got a drought, like y'all know, July.
June, July.
July and August, which Perry, I mean, he lives in Alabama now, but he knows how dry it got for there for a little bit.
Us too.
But I would see spray guys, fertilizer guys, they'd be spraying liquid in August and knowing that we ain't had rain in 4 weeks. And I'm like, y'all are going to toast this yard. And I told my customers, I said, you tell them they need to just be doing granular. I said, if it ain't rain 4 weeks, we ain't got no rain. I said, they have her spraying liquid, they're going to toast your yard. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of guys don't know what they're doing, too. I had a lot of customers complain, why is my yard so brown? Why does it burn up? Well, even if it's got, they putting too much pre-emergent down liquid, when it's that dry and not getting no rain, it'll toast that yard up. And it's
especially Bermuda, man.
Man, yeah, because we got Bermuda and Georgia and Alabama. That's all I mow, and we don't have any fescue much. Maybe in the shady areas, but it gets too hot and humid there for fescue to thrive. But I deal with Bermuda and Georgia a lot, and Alabama, and boy, there were some toasted yards. But some of the guys that knew what they were doing, thank goodness, they was just putting that granular. But a lot of guys, they was just out there just burning them up left and right.
We tell our guys that. Just granular.
Goodness.
It's too hot.
Yeah, for real.
Ben, what's been a specific issue of last year? And
I would say this year it's been tough. I got 2 employees. One had a few. Personally, she's gone. I had to deal with that. And, of course, some of them, I have ones, have the employees' issues and not showing up. I've dealt with that this year, and it's been a struggle. And, of course, everybody deals with it. It's not just open door, every closet to every company's got, skeletons going on. But I'm not saying mine has it, but, there's always that, it's always that challenge with employees showing up and every day and working. I think that's kind of been a good challenge for me this year, talking with them, whether they have some, I'm real lenient about stuff coming up, letting them family stuff come up.
Trying to help them with their
Yeah, and I'm more lenient about that. I'm not just going to fire them just because they got to go take care of something for a day or two every week or do this and that, because I'm more lenient on that stuff. Life happens, man, but I'll say the employee issues a little bit of just showing up, work. That's one of my main issues, and then of course inflation's been a good challenge for us this year. Of course, everybody probably here at this table has been dealing with inflation. Making sure our numbers are right, hitting that revenue amount every day, because that's all I care about. Mainly is hitting that revenue goal every day, because if we're not making that money per hour, what we're doing in the truck, windshield time, it matters. It's always a challenge for me. Because being an owner operator, you still got to make money every day. Your companies, that's what that's what we're here for. Biggest thing I'd say, inflation, employees a little bit, and I've had some customers kind of be like we were talking about earlier, a little bit, wanting to tell me how to do it, kind of deal, and then you just kind of got to sit back and kind of just explain to them the knowledgeable part of it a little bit, and I've helped a few along the way on that, whether it's we planted emerald greens and they've died 4 weeks later. Well, why they die? You've been watering them good. You got irrigation in your yard. That was dry for a little bit, so we had a couple of them die, and got a little upset. I'm like, we have to keep them watered. It's a tree, it's a living plant. I mean, it's just little stuff like that. And mainly just taking care of my customers, man. That's been a good challenge. And that's what I love to do, is just taking care of them. Whether it's a text message or a phone call, making sure they're happy, knowing what we can do better, what they don't like. I always tell my customers, you call me if you don't like this, or you let me know if you don't like this or that. Because most companies, that's a big thing I've been seeing in these companies that are just flaring up. I'm not going to say they're, just started companies or whatever, but they're not giving customer service. That's the big thing. I've seen a lot of new companies in my area, either they won't get back with people, or and man, I will.
Don't pick up the phone. Don't send the
that's
estimate.
It. I will destroy them on that, because that's been a good challenge for me this year, because you're seeing a lot of that in 24 this year, and that's not just in my area, but I've been hearing a lot of other people all over the country. It's been that problem.
Same with us.
That's been a good challenge for me, is getting back with people and potential higher end residential, because that's kind of my main target. Is I like doing the higher end residentials. I do a little bit of commercial, but mainly if I can find a good high end residential person that's older, retired, that's got a house on the lake.
Yep.
You know about this, Perry.
I do. That's my neighbors.
Those are the targets, bro. Like,
do you do Perry's house?
No, I don't. Not yet.
When he retires,
Perry has absolutely no grass and a lot of bamboo.
We got to get you some Bermuda. Yeah.
There ain't nothing growing there but bamboo. Trust me.
Oh man, that's just hard to get rid of. Right there.
I know. I've already got it planned out.
Golly.
I'm going to get a big T-Rex and stick him in the bamboo.
That's right.
So he's busting through.
I like it.
Yeah, just live with it.
Oh, yeah. I've already tried. I've already tried ridding it once. It didn't work.
About 5 years ago, I took care of my cousin's yard. He lives further out than me. But this older gentleman next door asked me if I was start cutting his grass. And so I did. So one day he goes in the back. He was like, hey, man, you think you can get rid of this? I go back and look, this bamboo tree stalks are like 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
I was like, sir, I had to come up here a separate day and dedicate to this. He was like, all right, man, I was there for like 4 hours one day. And all I had
to get out one stalk.
I mean, I got it all out, man.
Correct. Did you?
Yeah, I got it all out. But then he calls me back like 2 weeks later. Oh, man, it's back. I'm like, dude, that stuff goes 4 inches overnight.
This is not under warranty.
Yeah. I was like, you're going to have to get somebody with an excavator right here.
Your warranty's voided.
Yeah. I think somebody here with a mini X or a Bobcat and scoop it up with like dirt and put it in a dump truck. He said, how much it's going to be? I said, minimum $2,500. No, I ain't paying that. Yeah. I said, well, you're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, there's actually, in our town, Tom's River, they put an ordinance against it 100%. If you have it, you had to get rid of it. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't get rid of it, and it encroaches on someone else's property, you're responsible for it.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, legally.
We have a huge park by us, Winding River Park. It's massive. Mm-hmm. And it encroached onto Winding River Park, and the park actually went we actually got rid of 99% of it with sprays. I went there, Coastal did. I cut them all down, and then you have to inject every single one
Yeah.
you cut instantly.
Oh, man.
And I did, and I put a thing in because they had a lawyer involved because they were trying not to get sued by the town. And I said, listen, like we put it in there. We're not responsible.
We had to send the letter to the town that we treated it,
and that we're not responsible if it comes back because this is not really the proper way. The way you're saying is the proper way. Excavate it.
Yeah.
And then hope for the best because if you miss even one little piece, it comes back.
It does.
But we got rid of it. I mean, I went by there and it's almost all gone from how I went back like 5 times and did this. So I see 3 more pop up, cut them, inject it.
I wondered how you got rid of them.
Inject it.
Yeah.
I just researched it online, believe it or not.
I figured it was either heavy excavating, getting the root system all up, or it was that. But that's what I was thinking.
But she paid a good amount of money for us to do that.
Yeah.
Like cut it and inject it.
Yeah. Hey, man.
So what are you doing after the show? You want to come down and inject my
I'm not into you're not my type.
Oh, man.
No, the bamboo.
I've been married for a minute, but you're still not my type, you know.
Larry, the bamboo.
Oh man. My feelings now. No, I know what you're talking about.
Not that, you freak. Come on.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we could do it. We could make it like a winter project, like a fun project. You know?
Come on down.
Perry, same question for you.
A lot of educating the customer
Yes.
as to why we do things, why it costs this much.
Yep.
The price of grass seed went down. Mm-hmm. Okay, that was great. It's still a little cheaper than last year, not by much, but a little bit.
Right.
Overseeding and fertilizing a lawn, and the gentleman couldn't understand why I was $200 more than one of the larger companies. It's like, sir, this is me. This is the cost of the grass seed. I'm telling you what this
is the depth of the plug I'm pulling. I'm going over it more than once. You're going to have to mark your sprinklers.
This is what, this is my cost. This is my labor. This is the materials. This is the fuel. This is how much goes for insurance.
Yep.
And it's educating them on this. And he goes, oh, so I just can't run down to Home Depot? And I was like, you can.
Yeah.
You can run down to Home Depot and get an aerator, and you can get the seed, and you can get whatever they're selling.
The results are going to be the same.
Yeah, you can, and you're going to be in bed for the next week after you use
Yep.
Exactly.
Took out the whole driveway.
I started listening to him. Yeah.
And on the lighting aspect, I was on a phone call for 20 minutes yesterday of the guy. Well, how much does this house cost? Well, what would you like done? Every house is different.
Yeah.
Well, what about this stuff I see on the phone? That's not the same. That's a double stick tape. Ours are not like that. Ours are permanently mounted. It's a warranty issue with that. Well, this is what I want. I'm like, sir, I'm sorry. I won't install that. It's not in my wheelhouse. Mm-hmm. He goes, well, you just want me to spend my money with you. And I was like, honestly, I want to educate you. And I was like, listen, I'd love to have your money. Let me educate you on the different things that are there. And I was like, perfect example, go on YouTube. Okay, look at this. And I said, I've installed that brand before, and I did it for my friend. I tried to talk him out of it. I tried because I don't like it. I don't think it lasts. I don't think you get the results. And I was like, I don't think it looks real good. If you're going to stay in your house 10 or 15 years, you want something that's going to last.
Yeah.
You want to make it last.
Well, it all comes back to you caring, and he should see that.
Yeah.
I mean, you care about your customer. It's in the top tier companies like True Green. I ain't naming them a lot of names, but them bigger guys, they're just out there.
They don't care.
It's a nationwide company. It's a big joker, man. Yeah. But you care, and I've tried to influence that because I care about my people, and I want them to have what they want, and that's it.
Yeah, that and Hey, actually talking to the customer, I have some that have a swimming pool, and she goes, "Hey, we had a little trouble with our swimming pool and this and that," and I was like, "Oh yeah, here's a swimming pool vendor I recommend. They have all the design people." She goes, "What's it cost?" It's like, man, I don't know. All I know about a swimming pool is you need some water in yours. They did a bad job on your hot tub. Your tile needs redone. That's a bad outdoor kitchen. It's not sloped the right way. And she goes, "Have you ever done swimming pools?" And I said, years ago, I worked for a swimming pool company. I was like, and she goes, "We're actually in a lawsuit right now with the builder." And she goes, "You don't even do this, and these are things that you notice." And I said, I'm here to give you information. Right. And I was like, what can I help you with?
Yeah.
Right.
So
it's important.
I've been seeing a lot of that, Perry. Like, I had one customer had a pool put in the first of spring. Well, they dug it. He dug it, did the foundation, poured the concrete. Well, he didn't show back up.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing so much of that lately, whether it's pool installations or fence installations. They want 15% up front. They get paid. They don't show back up. I've been seeing a lot of that across the board this year and some last year. But this year, it's really blowed up. Like, I've been seeing so much people getting taken advantage of. And this dude didn't pour the concrete right in the pool, in the bottom of the pool, didn't do the foundation right. So he had the owner had the jackhammer. I actually helped him jackhammer get it all busted up. It was bad, man, and he's actually suing this dude. So, but he wanted his pool, so I was like, man, I came over and helped him one Saturday because, he just needed some help, and I felt bad for him, which I wanted to help him out. It wasn't too bad, but it just goes back to really looking in who you're hiring, who cares the most, in all the first meeting with a business owner. I mean, it really goes a long way. You really need to do a lot of background checks, look in depth, how they talk to you, how they treat you. It's a lot. I've been seeing so much of that, man.
Even I went and gave an estimate in February for an HOA property, and they said, well, it was, and I said, who took care of it last year? And they said, well, it was a boyfriend of one of the board members. And we walked the entire property with her. I walked around with her for 2 hours, and I said, I'm going to make you a list of what you need. And I sent her the list, and she goes, I was afraid you were going to send me this. And I said, ma'am, I want your business. And I said, but what you need a large company with 3 to 4 personnel that are going to show up every week and do this. I said, you need mulch. All these trees need removed. All the bushes need replaced. And I said, and your last company drove a mower through your fence.
My goodness.
And I said, this is out of my scope. And I was like, these are the companies. I've seen their work. I would recommend them. I don't know their pricing.
So we weren't even selling anything. You're just helping solve a solution.
Yeah.
It's
which
education.
even goes a longer way.
Yes.
Because you're not trying to get any money, but you're still trying to fix a problem.
Yeah.
That speaks volume.
I see that a lot because I mow some luxury apartments, and they have their own group. That's that guy that owns that apartments complex. He's got his own maintenance crew, which is like 2 or 3 guys he's hired, and got a van and everything. They come out every week because there's so many plants and flowers, especially in the entranceways, which is fine. He pays them to do that, but a lot of people don't realize when they build these apartments like that, these nice places, it's curb appeal and everything, a lot of that has to be maintained everything every week, and plants and everything. Like you just said, you gave them a breakdown list, and they're like, my goodness, the price is like, well, I mean, do you want somebody to take care of it so it stays flush and green and looking good all the time, or do you want to just let it go and just look, you're getting $1,400 a month off of an apartment. Do you want this place to stay clean and presentable? I mean, that's all it boils down to is you caring and, getting their business and taking care of their problems.
Well, it's taking pride in your work.
Exactly. That's it.
What does the equipment look like?
Exactly.
I got made fun of at a car wash one day. I was washing all my mowers. One guy goes, what are you washing a lawnmower for? I was like, I got pride in my ride. How about that? And he goes, you got a business card?
That's it, man. That's it.
Here you go. And he goes,
like this guy.
And he goes,
he's all right.
He goes, so the truck's clean and you wash your lawnmowers? And I said, yes, sir.
Yeah.
And I said, unfortunately, I had to institute a contract this year, and in that contract's written, if you don't clean up all your dog poo, and I have to clean it up, I bill you for it.
Yep.
Smart.
Yep.
That's brilliant. I never thought of that.
Smart.
And some guy goes, well, why is that? And I said, okay, I take your dog's poo and put it in someone else's yard. Now I'm not only contaminating my trailer, my tires, I'm contaminating their yard.
Yep.
And if I see it, I have to break from my route, go to a car wash,
Spray off. Yeah.
and spray everything off. And he goes, okay. And it's like, it's not only on the tires, it's up under the decks, it's in the blades.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know.
And he looked at me and he goes, man, I never even thought about
A lot
that.
of people don't.
Yeah.
It's just it's that attention to detail that you want to bring
Yeah, to the table.
to the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raising the bar.
Yeah. We all
So-
talk about raising our prices. Yeah, that's great. It's those little things that are going to separate you from the competition.
That's what I focused on this year. Like I said, go back to what I said earlier about taking care of customers and answering the phone call, getting every little detail that they want to know.
Getting on the estimates.
It matters, man. It matters.
Speaking of fertilization, I did a customer last year. One of the big name companies came, and it's a brand new property. The house has been there probably 7 months. and it still had the contractor trash in the yard. You know, like little chunks of concrete and the little pieces of plastic. So I had to mow the yard on 4 inches. I couldn't mow it no lower because there was too much trash in the yard. So I go to mow it about a month later, and I told him I did the whole yard need to be like redone because it was trash. So he gets them to come out and fertilize the yard. Well, they came out right before, probably about the day before a bad thunderstorm was supposed to come up, and the customer was out of town. And when I tell you it was coated fertilizer all over this man's brand new concrete driveway, I'm talking about like coated seed. I mean coated fertilizer. It was everywhere. It like somebody took like blue Dippin' Dots and just threw them across the driveway. So
didn't blow nothing off.
No, didn't blow it off. But top of that, they didn't even aerate. They just came, and the ground was hard as concrete. So fertilizer is sitting on top of the ground. It hadn't rained, and I'm thinking to myself, man, when it rains, this man's driveway is going to be blue. I'm talking about fresh concrete, less than 2 months old. Don't make it so bad, he just had his garage epoxied. So he had about 6 inches past the garage door that still had a bit of epoxy on it. So I took a picture and I sent it to him. I was like, this is why I charge more to do your fertilization than this company. Look at this. I sent him a picture of it. I was nice to blow it off the driveway because, like I said, it was about to rain about 3 hours later. They're calling for severe thunderstorms. And I was like, this is why I charge what I charge. Never got to cut, never got to mesh it back from them or nothing. So, I took care of their problem. And then he still wanted me to, I was like, listen, dude, I was like, you don't want to pay for what's recommended. I can't accommodate you for that price. So I just had to cut ties with you and, find somebody, and you had to find somebody else that can accommodate your needs. I said, because this ain't working.
Especially it's a new property. It's probably all compacted.
It was.
So that's just going to run right in the street when it rains. It's not going to absorb at all.
Nope.
It's gone.
It was. There was no aeration done at all. It was just, like I said, like you just take a bag of seed and just pour it on top of a sidewalk. It would just sit there.
There you go. 30 years, we'll have something come up.
That's right.
Well, we won't hold you guys up for getting onto the showroom floor because it's.
I appreciate you guys.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for, as always. How can everybody find you guys?
I'm everywhere. Hairston Property Management LLC, Facebook, Instagram. I got a YouTube channel. I ain't put it on in about 3 years, y'all. So
stay off.
Yeah, it's a few.
If you want to go into the archives.
Yeah, it's there.
Ben?
Yeah. I got 2 Instagram accounts. One's kind of my personal, one's a business. Try to pivot both, but one's Newman Ben 16 on Instagram, and then at B&L Services on Instagram. You can find me, but I appreciate you letting us on the show today.
No, thank you. And Perry, just one more time.
Yeah. Yellow Dog Lawn on the internets and the socials. And you can find us on Instagram, TikTok. I don't know how to use it, but she does. Twitter, Facebook, all those across.
Awesome. Where am I going? Can you say where I'm got to go get those donuts? Or
Oh, yeah, we need to find the donuts.
I don't know. I figured someone would know.
He's been drooling over there for donuts.
I mean, your job title, donuts, just going to say that.
I do love them.
Max Mitchell about the donuts.
Yeah, tell Mitchell about the donuts. He'll be like,
yeah.
Like Homer Simpson.
Oh, man.
awesome. Well, thanks, guys. We'll set you free, let you go have fun out there, check out all the new stuff, and we will kick it back to Mr. Producer. Catch you guys on the next one.
Thank you.